everyone. We continue on the lesson. So here I was talking about how to add and subtract positive, negative numbers. So I said if we have two positive numbers, we can just add them. So it's very easy. We just add them. Or I find the first one on the number line and then I go to the right, the number of units I see here. So I go 3 units to the right because I have 2 plus 3. And if I have two negative numbers, again, I add them and I use negative sign. So the same. I find -2, and because I have -3, so I go 3 to the left. Okay, because here, and then the destination is the answer. Okay, so I did that, and then here I was talking about this. So I said, when you have one positive number, one negative number, yes, I know it's subtraction. You are finding the difference, I know, but how do you find the sign? First, you have to find the difference between two numbers, between 5 and 6, the difference is 1. And then you have to use sign of the biggest number. So sign of the biggest number is sign of 6. And sign of 6 is negative. So the answer is negative. How about 7 and 2? The difference between 7 and 2 is 5. Even if the number is large, I can use my calculator to find the difference between two numbers, the biggest minus the smallest. But then I have to look at the sign of the biggest number. Sign of the bigger number is minus, so the answer is -5. How do I show this on number line? So I can make a number line here, and I can make a number line here, for example. And so I find, okay, 5 minus 6. So I need to find 5. I need to go 6 to left. So I need to have room for that. So I do 0 here, and I do 1, I do 2, I do 3, I do 4, I do 5, and I do 6. So I just pay attention to graphing skills and graphing techniques. Okay, so this is 5 here. So sorry, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so done. And then I go 6 to left. Okay, so I start from here. I do 1, I do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the destination is the answer. The destination is -1. So I go 6 to left. Why? Because it's 5 minus 6. Again, I find -7. So I need to do this. So it is, okay, so -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. I do -7 and I do 2 to the right because it's +2. So the destination is my answer. Okay, so if in the quiz or test I ask you to show me with number line, I want you to do this. Find the first number, and if you have minus, you go 6 units to left. And if you have +2, you go 2 units to right, and then the destination is the answer. Okay, this is the method of using number line for subtraction and addition. Okay, so now solve without use of calculators. So here, what is 7 plus 7? 14. What is the sign? Minus, because it's two negative numbers. How about that? What is the difference between 7 and 7? Okay, so first I finish these and then I go to this. Okay, so 4 and 6. Okay, I'd add them plus because it's addition. Okay, both of them positive. Both of them are positive, so 6. Here, both of them are negative. So I add them and I use negative sign. So it is -7. Okay, here -3, -5. So again, I add them and I use negative sign, is -8. Okay, how about this one and this one? What is the difference between 7 and 7? 0. Done. What is the difference between 6 and 4? 2. What is the sign of the bigger number? Sign of 6. Positive. So it's +2. 2 and 4. What is the difference between 2 and 4? 2. What is the sign of the bigger number? Sign of 4. Negative. So -2 then. Okay. What is the difference between -5 and -2? Okay, so on the number line, if this is 0, so this is -2 and this is -5. Okay, so the difference is 3, right? So the difference is 3. What is the sign of the bigger number? What is the sign of the bigger number? Okay, the bigger number is which one? I'm just waiting for you to think a little bit. Okay, the bigger number here, remember the bigger number is -2 because it's in negative. Remember, in negative, so I start from here, and as I go here, it increases. So I start from minus infinity and it increases to infinity. So in negative sign, the smaller number that I see is actually the larger number. The smaller number I see is the larger one. Okay, so the larger one is -2. So it's minus. So the difference is 3. I know, but it must be -3. Okay. And of course, if you do -5, minus minus, which is plus, which we are going to talk about it later. So you do +2, and that's the same result. Okay. But right now, I don't talk about that. So I just see the difference between -5 and -2, and then I use the larger number sign. I have my coffee here. 3 and 5. What is the difference between 3 and 5? 2. What is the larger number? 5, and the larger number sign is negative. So the answer is -2 then. Okay? So I don't need to be worried about, oh, it's 3 minus 5. What should I do? Should I use my calculator? No. I know you have your calculator. I know you can use it, especially right now that we are online and I don't see you, but I don't recommend because you can learn. Mathematics just is a good exercise for your brain, and you can use it to just learn more, just to you learn to think more and to think better, even for real life problems. Okay, so more than one sign. So here, okay, perfect. This is what I was talking about here. So here, even number of negatives. So if I have even number of negatives, even number, for example, 2, 4, 6, so the number is positive. Okay, so means if I have minus, 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 but these minus are even number, it's plus. But if I have odd number, minus, 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 and they are odd numbers, okay, it is minus when it's odd numbers. Look at this, I have odd numbers. Look at this, I have odd numbers. So the answer is negative. Okay. Oh, perfect. So if I see many negative numbers, I can just find the answer. Okay. So a negative sign in front of parentheses will change all the. Okay. So it's nothing new. I have a -1. I have a -1 multiple bracket. So I have to change each term's sign inside the bracket. So here the answer is -a minus b plus c plus d minus e, because I have minus out, and that minus, sometimes I see a student, they just change this one. That's wrong. You have to change each term inside the bracket, each term sign. Okay, so how about this guy? You have minus, of course you have 2 multiple 3, which is 6. I know you can use your calculator as well for these. Sorry about that, but you have 2 minus. So it's even number, so it is 6. But here you have odd number, which is -40. Okay? So here. Okay, absolute value. Absolute value is just this sign. If I use this sign, and that's a very important operation in math. But we can make many functions. We can draw graphs. So that's a very powerful operation. But we don't see all of those in college. Okay, so we just use it for something. So if I use absolute value, it means I have to just use the positive answer from the number. So absolute value of 4 is 4. Absolute value of -4 is also 4. Just use positive. So this is just 25. So if I have negative, I use positive. The answer is positive. If I have positive, the answer is positive. Absolute value means What is the magnitude of the number? You are not even thinking about um, the sign. Okay, so we use it in physics, for example. We use it in many, so engineering and many just applications. Okay, so exponents. If you see 2 power 4, what does this mean? So 2 is the base and 4 is the exponent. 4 is the power. What does this mean? This means you multiply 2 with 2 for 4 times. Do I use 4 in my calculation? No, I just use 4 to count 2. Okay, so what is the answer then? The answer is 16. You can use your calculator, you can use your brain. Doesn't matter. So you just have to multiply them. Okay, so that's that. How about negative exponent? Here is when I see a student have problems, so I like to talk about it. When you have 2 power minus 7, you can change the number from top to bottom, bottom to top, and change the exponent sign. So this is 1 over 2 power 7. If you have 1 over 2 power minus 7, you can say it's 2 power 7 because you can move it up and change the sign of exponent. But if I have minus 1 over 2 power 7, I cannot say it is equal 2 power minus 7. No. Negative number, they stay negative. Positive numbers stay positive. The only thing is changing is the exponent sign. When I move the number from top to bottom, that's it. Okay? So this is not the same. This one is 1 over 2 power 7. They are not the same as each other at all. They are opposite, one positive, one negative. Okay? Another thing I want to mention here is for example, if I have minus 4 3 power minus 5, for example. Okay, do I touch minus 4? No. Minus 4 is minus 4. Minus 4 is just 4 units to the left of 0. Okay, so you do minus 4 over 3 power 5. That's it. But I see this mistake many times. I see minus 4 equal 1 over 4. That's wrong. No, 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 no. It's not. They are not the same. Minus 4 is, you find 0 here, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. 1 over 4 is like you have $1 and divided by 4, which is 25 cents. So it's here. This is 1 over 4. 1 over 4 is positive. Minus 4 is negative. They are not the same as each other. I say this because I see this mistake. I see this mistake sometimes when I say, you write this number with positive exponent. A student, they do this. They are not the same. No. This is correct. Okay? So the only thing you move is the number with negative exponent from top to bottom, bottom to top, and change the sign. Perfect square. A number that can be expressed as product of two equal integers is perfect square. Okay? So this one is 5 times 5. So write many perfect squares. So I can write 1. I can write 4 because 2 times 2. I can write 3 times 3, which is 9. I can write 16. I can write 25. I can write 36. 6 times 6. I can write 49. I can write, so this is 7, 7. So 8 by 64. Then 81. And then 100. And then 121. And then 144, which is 12 multiple 12. Yes. Okay? These are perfect square numbers, right? So you can write them as multiplication of two equal integers. Or for example, you can say it's minus 5 multiple minus 5, which is 25 again. Or for all of them, you can use minus multiple minus. Okay? But remember, again, I want to emphasize, if I say by language, if I just say as a question in any language, if I say, what is a square of, a square root, sorry, of 25, you can say plus minus 5, I know. But when I use radical 25, because I define this symbol, which I highlighted, to be positive, and I showed you in the previous video, it was, I'm not sure if the first one or the second. So you have to say just positive, and that's why when you use radical in your calculator, it doesn't show you negative. But even I see many teachers, they say radical 25 is plus minus 5. Okay, so if you make this mistake, I accept, but that's wrong, and I showed you in the book. Okay, so here, expand and solve. They want you to expand, but later on, when I teach you to use exponent rules, then you don't need to expand it. You can just use the rule. So what is that? So this means 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. How about that? This is 3.14 times 10 times 10, which is 314, which is multiple 100. Okay, that's later on you will learn how to answer this. When we teach you exponent rules. But now it's just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it means how many 2? 2 times 5. What can I say? So it is 2 times 2 power 2 plus 3. Oh yes, I can make a rule here. And I will talk about these rules later. Okay, so this one is 1 over 2 power 3, which is 1 over 2 times 2 times 2, which is 1 over 8. How about here? How about this one? How about this one? Okay, so 4 times 4 times 4, sorry, 4, 4, and 4, sorry about that, divided by 4 times 4. And you cancel. How many 4 you have? 4 power 3. Oh, maybe I can make a rule. 4 power 5 minus 2. Yes. Okay, and I will talk about those rules later. How about the next one? Okay, so it is 6. So maybe I can change the color. It's easier to see with blue. 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 again. Divided 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 minus 36. Okay, so I can cancel this and that, and then I have 6 minus 36, which is minus 30. Okay, but here I don't think this should be here because I didn't teach you bed mass, order of operations. So when I teach you order of operation, this will be easier to understand. Okay, so now exponent laws. Okay, exponent laws. Yes, perfect. I saw when I have 2 power 3 multiple 2 power 2, it was like 2, 2, 2 for 5 times. So it is like 2 power 2 plus 3. So I can make the rule here. The rule is x power a times x power b is x power a plus b. I use 1x and I add the exponents. I don't use xx, no. Sometimes I see this mistake. A student, they do 2, 2, which is 4 power 5. That's wrong. Okay, this is the first one. That's important rule, and it stays forever, and it will be forever for any base. When you have the same base, you have to add in multiplication, you have to add the powers. How about in division? Yes, in division I saw it. So it was 4 for 5 times divided by 4 for 2 times, so it was 4 power 5 minus 2. Okay, so now I can make the rule here. X power a divided by x power b is x power a minus b. Here doesn't matter which one plus which one because it's plus, and plus is commutative. But here it matters, top minus bottom. I cannot do any other order, otherwise it will be wrong. Okay, how about that? Power rules. Oh, okay, here I like you to see the reason. When you see the reason, you don't forget. I don't want you to memorize. And as I teach you, continue to teach you, you can see I don't memorize any steps. I show you steps which are in the lesson, but I don't memorize them because I want you to see the reason. Okay, so what does this mean here? This means here, okay, so just let me zoom in here. Okay, so this means 5 power 3 times 5 power 3. Okay, because it's power 2. And then for each one, this is 5, 5, 5 times 5, 5, 5. Okay, how many 5 I have? 6. Okay, 5 times 6. Oh, sorry, power 6. So it is like 5 power 3 power 2 is like 5. 2 multiple 3. Oh, yes. I can make a rule here. Okay, and okay, so just 1 second. I don't know why. What's wrong that yeah, every time this happens. Okay, so it's x power a power b is like x power a times b. Okay, that's the third rule here that I can use it. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, I can maybe highlight this one as well. I can highlight this one as well. Yes, and we can continue here. Okay, show all the exponent rules. Okay, so I can show them here all. X power a times x power b is x power a plus b. There is no other rule. I cannot do xx power a plus b. No, 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 no. There should be the same base and I add powers. Otherwise, I don't do that. X power a divided by x power b is x power a minus b. Here it matters which one minus which one, the top one minus bottom. X power a power b is x power ab. Okay, I can continue to emphasize here x power minus a is 1 over x power a. If I move from top to bottom, bottom to top, I have to change the sign. Just sign of exponent. I don't change sign of the number. Positive number stays positive, negative stays negative. How about if I have x power 0? Is it 0? No. Okay, so x power 0, I want you to memorize. Sorry, I don't want you to memorize. I want you to learn. So, for example, I can say it's like x power a minus a, for example, because it's x power 0. So it is like x power a divided by x power a, which is 1. Yes, if I have x power 0, the answer is 1. But remember, it doesn't work for infinity. Infinity power 0 is not 1. But you don't see it in college. Mathematically, I want just you to know it. Okay? I want just the mathematical rules here that many of them you don't use. But for example, if you go to continue just your for future, if you continue your studies and go to university, and for example if you do Bachelor of Science or Engineering, maybe you can see, for example, infinity power 0, it's totally different and it's not 1 and it goes to limit and it's a very different concept. Okay, so you don't see it here, but any number power 0 is 1. When I have a number, infinity is not a number. Infinity is a very very large number. Okay, which is not very clear for us. Okay, so you don't really see this, but I want you to know it. So here, so they are very important rules here. So this is number 1, this is number 2, number 3. So I want to add also this one, I want to add also this one. And as we continue, maybe I can show you more rules. Okay, so how about here? How about this one? Here is when I teach you BEDMAS. What do you do? What is the answer? Is the answer, so I'm not sure what is wrong with the file. Okay, so I do this. Oops. So let me see what happened here. Okay, so can I do that, or it goes? I don't know what's wrong with the file here. Okay, so here, can I say the answer is 6 times 3 because I add 4 and 2? Or I can say the answer is 4 plus 6, which is 10. Which one is correct? This one is correct and this one no, and I can show you why here. Okay. When I am doing many operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, bracket, power, exponents, so I have to follow these rules. I have to follow these orders. Bracket is first, exponent is next, division and multiplication are 3, but which one I do first? The one that I see first from left to right. The one that I see first. So it doesn't mean division is first. No. Division and multiplication, they are at the same level. But I do the one which I see first from left to right. First come, first serve. And this guy is for addition, subtraction. But again, from left to right, the first one you see, you do it first. Okay, nice. So I have this order that I can follow. Some people, they say PEDMAS instead of BEDMAS because they use parentheses. And you know, in mathematics, parentheses, brackets, braces, they are all the same in terms of these kind of operations. Okay, so now if we were in the class, I could give you time, but right now I can't. So, and I don't want to waste the time in the video, so I start to do them. But you can do this. You can stop them, do it, and then run the video to see if it's the same. Maybe I make a mistake. Maybe you can email me and say, oh, Nilu, you made a mistake here. Okay, so what should I do here? Bracket is first. Okay, so bracket is first, so I need to do this one first and this one next. For the first quiz, if I give you a question like BEDMAS here, many operations, I want you to show me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on there, because then I know you understand the order. But later on, I don't want. Later on, we don't need, because we don't have time to do this for every question. Also, I want you to teach you that you have to use equal for each line. And I prefer to see each step in one line, but it's impossible when we have many steps. So it doesn't matter if you do several steps in one line. Okay, so here I do 4, plus minus 7, because it's 0 minus 7. Then I do 4 minus 7, and then I do minus 3 is the answer. Right? Done. How about next? Okay, I do this one first because bracket is first. I know bracket has plus and multiplication is before plus, but it's inside the bracket. So bracket is first and this one is next. Okay, so I do equal 9 times 4, which is equal 36. And I want you to learn to use equal for each line. That's very beautiful to show a solution. However, for me, the answer is minus 3. And if you write minus 3, yes, I accept. But I want to see equal for each line. And of course, I want to see several lines. And I don't want you to just write me the answer. Then I ask you why. So if you ask other students, they know me. If you do quiz and test for me, I ask why. I want you to show me steps. Show me steps, please. Okay, so how about here? Here, oh, I don't have bracket here. I don't have exponent. I have multiplication and addition. So this one is first. Oops. Why? What happened? What's wrong with this file? And every time I have to have issue here. Let me see what happened. Oops, I don't see. Okay, so here I stop this video because I have to fix the file, and then I continue in the next one. Okay, thank you so much.